Okay, I guess this is part two, if you like, of this little mini series of Brewmaster beers. So up next, we're going to do the Dundalk Bay Brewery Brewmaster's Premium Irish IPA. I've just noticed that you can see my breath in here because it's so freaking cold. That's why I've got my jacket on. It's actually not cold with the jacket on, but there's definitely a lack of heat in this place. Okay, Irish IPA. What makes an IPA Irish? I guess you're using Irish malt. You're obviously probably not using Irish hops, but it's brewed in Ireland. It's got that sort of craft brewery. They're just going with the premium Irish IPA as a label on the front of it. 5.6%. Yeah, the branding is all similar in all these bottles. Ingredients, again, it says water, contains pale ale malt, hops, yeast, gluten. So it doesn't really break down the ingredients further than saying it contains pale ale malt, which is slightly hard to sort of work out where they're coming from with that. And it's just in bold so that it's, it's an allergen, so they've labelled it that way, but that's okay. In this beer, I am told to expect tropical passion fruit aroma with a hint of grapefruit, pine and citrus aroma with a soft mouthfeel. Soft mouthfeel usually means either it's lighter in body, lighter in ABV, or there's less bittering in it. So we'll just see what that means as we taste the beer. Supercharged with dry hoppy infusions giving a passion fruit flavour with a slightly bitter finish. Okay, so there is a bit of bitterness. Paired with salty or fried foods, recommended with red meat. Okay, enough of that. Let's get into it. Brewmaster. I like their caps on the top. That's pretty cool. Add those to the collection. I'm using a gargles glass here. This is actually not too dissimilar in some respects to the colour profile of their Irish Red Ale. This one has a tiny bit from the dry hop, and there's a tiny bit of haze going on in this beer. And it has, again, an off-white tan head. But there is significant aromas on the top of it. Medium to full carbonation going on underneath. Lots of nice bubbles forming there. Looks good, looks inviting. Let's give it a sniff and see what we get on this. I always can tell if there's if the brewer has tried to make a beer that has significant malt that is like caramel in some respect, or amber, because when you smell the aroma of the beer, you don't just get hops, you get this kind of caramel melding with hops, and it gives a slightly different complexion. In the same way the extreme version would be to say, like, if you try a black IPA, a dark IPA, Cascadian black IPA, whatever you want to call it, it does something to the hops. Amber ales do something to the hops as well. And it just gives them a different, unique sort of take on the nose. And I do get a bit of that on this one as well. There is a lot of caramel sweetness going on in the nose. And yeah, I guess tropical fruit. Not crazy, but quite a lot of tropical fruit on the nose. Thick, like the head is so thick and creamy. Anyway, cheers, cilantro. Let's have a little go on this one. Oh, it's got good bitterness going on in this beer, but it's not lingering bitterness. It's kind of like bitter, but then it finishes. You drink it and it kind of finishes slightly bitter, but like a piney bitter. a little bit resinous, quite a bit piney, quite a bit of citrus going on in there, and quite a bit of tropical fruit. And I think that's what it says actually. It says tropical passion fruit aroma with a hint of grapefruit. Yeah, absolutely grapefruit, and that pine, citrus, definite. It does what it says on the tin, which I like. This is a meaty beer. This is a meaty beer. Very, very tasty beer. This is the kind of beer that I expect to see on draft in lots of bars, because it's not like a one-off special IPA. It's kind of more of your daily sort of IPA. There's a better way of saying that, I'm sure, but it's a very simple malt base, bit of malt character going on, quite a lot of malt character going on, in fairness, paired with citrus and pine hop flavors and aromas, and that's it, and that's all the beer does, and it does it very well, and it tastes fantastic. There's nothing weird about the beer at all. I'd happily sit down and drink 3 or 4 of these. Very, very nice beer. I like the pininess of this beer. I like the fact that there's like a real warming pininess to it, and it really sits well with the malt in the same way amber ales do. If you get a really deep, dank, resinous sort of piney amber beer, you get some of this, although this is more paired back to the IPA sort of malt base. Fantastic. I really enjoyed this beer. I would recommend that. It's not going to set your world on fire, but not every beer has to. And I think this cost me £2.50 a bottle, which is absolutely fantastic in a world where I'm paying €5 and €6 for IPAs. And this is a 500ml bottle. A lot of them come in 440ml cans, so I drink a toast to that. Anyway, cheers, Sláinte. Let's get on to the next one.